My name is Tammi. I was actually born and raised right here in Northwest Ohio, out in the Monclova area. My health started failing. I'd always known I had a problem with my kidneys since I was probably 15 or 16 years old. But doctors had always just monitored my kidneys. Once a year I'd have some tests and everything was fine. In 2013, my health started turning and no one was able to find answers. And it wasn't until late 2013 that my doctor said the issue is that you're in end-stage renal failure. So from there, I spent most of 2014 hospitalized as they attempted to treat the disorder, and that none of those worked. So in early 2015, they said, this is it. Our attempts to help you with this and stop this or hold it at bay have come to an end. And they prepared me for dialysis, which then ended up failing because the vein collapsed, and I was then processed for transplant for the waiting list, and then I waited to learn whether or not I was approved. So when they notified me in late December of 14 that I had been approved for the transplant, I started a social media campaign, Twitter. A friend of mine helped me build a web page. You would have thought I was running for political office at that point because I was really hitting it hard trying to find a living donor. In June of 2015, I went to the clinic to begin the process of preparing for the transplant, which included stress tests and scans and psychological evaluations and financial education and explanations. And it's quite the event, which is one of the things that brought me to the foundation, was because if you don't have someone advocating for you and you don't understand what's going on and there isn't someone that can explain it in terms for you, you can feel lost. I was actually sitting at work at lunch in June, just after my dialysis prep, and I got a call at lunchtime, and the clinic said, we're calling to schedule your transplant. Now, the way that the rules work, your donor has to inform you. A living donor has to reach out and identify themselves to you. And they hadn't done that. So I took the phone call at lunch, and the nurse said, we're calling to schedule your transplant. And I said, what do you mean? And she said, your donor hasn't called you? And I said, no. And she hung up on me. She just hung up the phone. So I was like, well, I think I have a donor. So then I went to social media. I'm like, if you are my donor, please call me. And they called me that evening. And we had a conversation, and then in the weeks following, we met to talk about the transplant and obligations and risks and what it would mean to her family. And she said to me, I know this is what I'm supposed to do. And my surgery was August 5th, and I woke up 12 hours later, and I thought, this is how people feel every day. I feel great. I feel like $1 million. I'm like, nobody in this room should complain about anything ever again if this is how you feel every day. And that's where the thumbs up came from. I came to the foundation in 2016 or 2017, I think it was. I actually posted on a social media comment that the page had dropped about Father's Day. So I commented that because of my donor, I was able to spend another Father's Day with my father. Holly reached out to me via social media and said, let's meet, let's talk, let's have lunch. And from there, the relationship grew. And then I started volunteering for the foundation. And then Holly said, we think that you would be a good fit for the board. So I joined the board a little bit over a year and a half ago. As I mentioned earlier, my intention is to hopefully bring education and awareness to not only the local community members about kidney disease and kidney failure, but also be able to assist patients and volunteers in understanding the importance of the foundation and the services that they provide. So I am definitely a proponent of organ donation. I continue to sign up for organ donation. I don't know that I'll actually be viable or eligible because of the medications that I have to take for my transplant, but if I can help somebody else, I'm not using it anymore, right? So maybe I can help someone see, or help someone to breathe, or help their heart to beat. But definitely Donate Life and Life Connection of Ohio as well. I actually do volunteer with Life Connection. I believe that I will be in the green chair coming up in April at the 24-hour sit-in at WTOL. My donor, who is a living donor, who I do still speak to and talk to on occasion, we text, we go out, have a drink or have some dinner. Her donation to me saved my life, allows me to spend time with my father. It allowed me to get married, which I never thought would happen. My husband, we've been together 12 years, 13 as of this year, and when I asked him why we were getting married, he said he just wanted to be sure. After 12 years, he was finally sure. So, but without that support, without the support of organ donation, without the support of agencies like the Kidney Foundation, I would not be here, and these great things would not have happened.